Alright guys, this is going to be the last part to this video, reprofiling this sack or Swiss Army knife. This one is about to get reprofiled. Basically, I took a black marker and I just marked the edge, okay, that I want to reset the bevel, okay. I'm starting off with the 21 degree spot on this Edge Pro Apex. If you don't know, it's the yellow spot on here. These are pre-marked for different angles. So the yellow is 21 degrees. We're gonna see how that goes. I might adjust it. This has some suction cups here, and you're supposed to use this on a flat surface and, you know, put a little water in there and it stays completely put, but it's a little tricky because this table, it won't hold suction because it's like a rough cut country style cable or table. Anyway, people want to see, people were a little bit disappointed last time because they didn't get to actually see me grind, you know, the blade. So this time I'm just gonna show everything. No editing, nothing. Just gonna show you the process here. So hopefully it's not too boring. I do like to edit some of it out to get to the point, but last time people were disappointed, so hopefully this time people like it. So, 21 degrees. I have my guide set up here. Let's go to town. I'm starting off with the coarse stone here. Just want to get a rough cut on here and see where I'm at. The idea of marking it with the marker is to see what metal you're taking off. So. And by the way, I am doing this dry. This does work better wet, but don't feel like making a mess right now. I can still do it like this. You can really feel the resistance. Let's see, take some of that grit off of there. You can feel the resistance doing it dry too. All right, so you can see the angle of 21 degrees. It's good. I've taken more steel off in order to get this angle, but I do like that for performance, so we'll stick with it. Just gonna take more grinding. So here we go. I'm actually gonna turn this a little bit because it's hard to move this forward with the tripod. The hardest part is just keeping that constant angle. Of course, it's more difficult. The way I'm doing this, the fact that I'm doing it dry, the fact that I'm doing it without a suction cup, I got the job done just fine. It's just making it a little more difficult. See some of the serrations are removed already towards the tip. So I have to kind of focus down here. I want to evenly do this, as opposed to take more metal off here. I want to remove them as consistently as possible. But I think when this is all said and done, the owners will be very happy with the performance of this blade. And making a mess, which we'll clean later. Alright, again I'm going to turn this a little bit because of the tripod. You can see, I mean, a lot of people, they kind of just go back and forth. I like doing these circles. Not only is it more consistent in, you know, motion, and it's easier to do, but it also, I can do wide strokes like this instead of just back and forth, you know, and work one area. I'm doing pretty much, I could do almost the whole blade by sweeping back and forth, so it's a little more consistent. And normally I would be using this entire stone, but again, because of the tripod, it's kind of limited. This is kind of quick and dirty. It's not really, you know, you want to take your time with this kind of stuff. I'm doing this because I want the owner to get their knife back, and you know, I'm limited on time. So most of the serrations, I didn't show you, sorry. Most of the serrations are gone. I want to come in here and shave this down a little bit because I didn't focus in this part of the blade as much as the rest. But the serrations are gone at this point. It's a very rough cut, very coarse stone here. Alright, let's see. See what we got here. It's looking pretty good. There is an extremely heavy burr, as expected, on the other side. So I'm going to, yeah, we'll knock it off right now. Again, it's a very coarse stone. So I'm barely using any pressure. It's pretty much just the weight of this this arm here. We're going to come back and revisit that anyway with the other grits. So, all right. So let's go down to our medium stone. I think it's the white one. Yep, medium. These are marked on the back. And you can check the instructions that comes with this to get the exact grit if you're interested. Actually, I can probably tell you in a second. So I know a lot of people are interested in this system, and I do reference it quite a bit. I like it for reprofiling. It's just easy to use. So let's see here. The coarse stone I just used is 120 grit. The medium's 220. The fine is 320, and then the ultra fine is 800. And then of course there's polishing tapes I have. I happen to have 1,000, 2,000 grit polishing tapes. So we're on to the medium stone. Now this is just take what I've already done, refine it a little bit, and start to sharpen. Starting to actually get a little bit of sharpness on here now. Let's see, it's hard to look through the viewfinder. Just looking at it up close. Okay. I'm actually going to do a couple passes in the back here again for that burr. Very, very light passes. Okay. All right. Swap out our stones. Here's our fine stone. You can see the system. It's really easy to swap these out. Actually, it's not even in view there. Sorry. I do have a review on this Edge Pro if you guys are interested in it. Highly recommend it for stuff like this. And when I break this out, I'll probably do a couple of knives just because it's already out and everything is dirty. I'll touch up a couple of my knives, especially EDC stuff. Move the system back a little bit. Now I thought about reprofiling the tip to get it, but I decided not to do that just because, I mean, this knife's not supposed to have an incredibly pointy tip on it, and I didn't confer with the owner of the knife as to if that's what he wants or not, so I'm not going to do it. If it was my knife though, I probably would. I would just basically grind down the top here on a stone. You know, you just kind of take it and kind of do one of those and reprofile that way, and then resharpen it. And if I was going to do that, I would do it before any kind of edge work here, because I want the bevel to be completely straight across or even. Alright, so now I'm going back over everything, just super light strokes. I'm not pushing down at all, just using the weight of this. Important with any kind of sharpening to just keep checking, you know, seeing what progression you got, see what's going on here. To the back again. Alright, so we have a straight edge. I just want to clean it up and refine it now. So, just take a look at it. And I'll do a little bit more with the fine before I go to the ultra fine. And again, when your system is actually kind of stuck to the table with those suction cups, you won't have any issues with it moving. Every now and again it moves, and then my stroke goes too far and it goes off the blade. That's why it kind of like stumbles there. But with some time and patience and, you know, a little bit of tender loving care, you can use the system perfectly. I tend to do stuff like this in a rush because I'm always pressed for time. But you guys at home, you wouldn't be doing it like I'm doing it right now. You're using it a little bit more properly. Like I said, this is the quick and dirty way to do it, but it does work. Obviously the serrations are gone. I will make this nice and sharp for the owner, and he should be very happy. Alright. Okay, now the blade's actually starting to get sharp again. Just knocking off any fine burrs that was created from that. Alright, we're going to switch to the ultra fine now. And I believe I said this was the 800 grit. I don't know yet if I'm going to polish this up. I might. I happen to like a toothy edge. But anyway, when you're using these ultra fine stuff, especially the polishing tapes, it almost feels like you're just rubbing on the edge. It doesn't even feel like you're sharpening anymore. But trust me, it's doing its job. It's just not taking steel off nearly as much as when we started, obviously. So there's less resistance, less friction as you continue to sharpen this knife. Alright, take a look at that. It's looking nice. It's getting there. It's ready to go somewhat of a polish. looking good, starting to get sharp. Should grab a piece of paper. Hang on a second. All right, let's see. We have an edge on there, but still needs to be refined. I mean, most people would be happy with this edge, but we're gonna take it further. You can see that. See those little fuzzies coming up there? Toothy edge, and it still needs to be refined and polished, and that back side needs to be taken down a little bit more. Let's do that first. Something like this is just really important you keep a consistent angle, and that's the reason why you would get a system like this as opposed to just getting some really high-end stones. This does offer that consistent angle. As the dog takes a sip of water. I'm watching Dylan, my family dog. I'm babysitting him, so Gus has got a buddy here. All right. Let's see. Ooh. Stay calm there. All right, here we go. Oh. That was just the bottom of the choil I grabbed. Try different parts of the blade too. Yeah, the middle with the base, nice and sharp. The middle, not as sharp, so I'm going to kind of focus in the middle a little bit right now. And it's just tweaking. That's all it's about. It's just tweaking a little bit. Once you start using the system, you really kind of get a hang of it, and it's just second nature to go to it and do whatever kind of touch-ups you need. It's not going to be often that you're going to actually reprofile your entire edge to remove serrations. I mean, in most cases, you're just not going to buy a serrated blade or a combo edge if that's not what you want. But in some cases, maybe you get a trade with someone, and it's a combo, and you're like, you know what, I love this knife, I hate these serrations. That's the case that you might do something like this and reprofile it. You know, in this particular knife, the metal we took off, I mean, it's barely noticeable. You wouldn't even know. You would think this knife came out of the box like this. I mean, and I'm not a professional. I sharpen knives all the time. I have for years, but I'm not a professional knife sharpener or anything. If I can do this, you can do this. It's just a matter of getting the equipment, taking the time to practice. That goes for pretty much everything, right? But anyway, a couple more passes on this. Again, very light right now. Just using the weight of this arm here, which is I don't know, about 4 or 5 ounces or so. Okay, let's do a pass in the back. Or a couple passes for that matter. All right. Try that again. The middle is much better now. Start at the heel here, make your cut, right? And slowly slide it across. You'll feel if there's any kind of problems, any nicks, any rough spots. Because you can get a part in your blade where like it's razor sharp down here and it's just okay here and then razor sharp up here. You'll feel that. Just do a slow cut. But make sure you use the entire edge of your blade. So right now it's actually really nice. And this could be sent out as is. And as I'm talking here, I'm just wasting time because I'm thinking whether I want to polish this up or not. And because I mean, this is like, it's already semi-polished. It's not a mirror polished edge, but I mean, this is like a factory edge. This is what you would expect from this knife, brand new out of the box. It's a lovely edge. But do we take it further? Yeah, what the hell. I know you guys want me to anyway. See, like I could end the video, or I can just keep on doing stuff, including dropping things. Let's do 1,000 grit tape. So these are polishing tapes, and I'm going to show you in a second. I know I'm talking, you can't see anything. I'm taking it out of the package here. What a polishing tape is basically, instead of giving you a new stone with a certain grit on it, it's literally your grit on a piece of tape. And they give you this blank stone here, okay, so you can attach it. So you take the back off, it's just a sticker, that's all it is. And you stick it onto, which gives you a rigid back, and then you can use this for polishing your edges up, getting that super fine edge. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt to line these up, and you definitely don't want air bubbles. If you have air bubbles in here, when your blade passes past it, it will create a cut into the tape. And I've cut these tapes quite a bit before. Not that big of a deal if you do. Let's start this over. See? Pain in the butt. Although, it's not the end of the world. Alright, just want this on as straight as possible, and it's already crooked. Hang on, I gotta do this off camera. Some things you just can't do around a tripod. Not successfully anyway. Let's see. Doop 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 doop. I'm not editing this one, so sorry for the downtime here. Alright, there we go. I really want to press this down. And again, with these tapes, you're a little better off using a splash of water. I mean, like 1 drop of water on here. But we're doing it dry. We're going in dry. Yes, sounds pretty rough. We'll get the job done. Not as smoothly as if we were moist, but it'll be just fine. Okay, so move our system, move back a little bit so you guys can see what's going on. Now we're going against the blade here. Now normally with something this fine, you would probably do passes the other way. Like if you're doing this by hand, you wouldn't be doing this because you have a chance of shaving into the actual material. The same as if you're stropping, you would strop backwards, right? We would do it this way and then come around to the other side, right? But in this case, because we have a pre-angled system, we can do it the other way successfully if you don't change your angle. If I change my angle just a little bit up, it's gonna cut into this tape and ruin it. So sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. We will see. And actually, I'm gonna start down here and just do one section so you can see the difference. This is bringing this to a nice, somewhat fine toothy edge to a polished edge. And a polished edge, obviously it's extremely, extremely sharp. It's gonna be good for some tasks and not as good for others. It's just preference. But for the demo purposes, we're polishing it. Really want to get to the very edge here, which is a little bit tricky sometimes, down by that ricasso. Okay, wipe off any kind of dust we got going on here, and take a quick peek. It's hard because everything's so reflective. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let's do the rest of the blade. I'll give you an overall look. We'll do another cut test. And then we're good to go. You can see the black on the blade, that's all metal. Or the blade. The stone here and the tape. All that black is metal. It's fine metal dust, metal particles. When we're all done, we'll go on the other side and we'll hit that back part of the blade with a few passes. Because this is taking off so little, we can actually do this, motion to the back. We don't have to go light. All right. See what we got here. Oh, that's pretty. So hard to show. Maybe zoom in. Let me get a better detail. I mean, that's a nicely polished razor sharp edge all the way to your tip. Okay, let's do the back side, and we'll do another cut test. Oh, and there we go. I moved this angle the tiniest bit up, and it took a slice right out of the tape here. You can see that. It's not the end of the world, just ruins the tape. Didn't do anything bad to the blade. Alrighty. Take a look at that back side. And we can see just that glistening edge. If I catch the light just right. So that is our final product there, folks. This knife is finished. So we'll do one more cut test. Got a fresh, clean piece of paper here. Sometimes when you're watching these cut tests, you think like, oh, that doesn't look very good. Could be a spot in the blade, could be technique. As you're cutting through, if the paper bends a different way, it doesn't want to slice because it's on the wrong angle now, it just wants to tear. It wants to pull it. So sometimes it's a little deceiving. It's all in how it feels. Let's try to do a nice wide cuts. This thing is a beast. So there you go. That is the completely reprofiled Serrations of a wonderful Swiss Army knife. But I have to say, the original design is really nice on this one. This is one of the few cases where the serrations are good on a knife, but this particular knife owner just didn't fancy them, didn't want them. So be it. So yeah, that's it for this one. I'm actually going to clean this up a little bit because if you can hear it, it's a little gritty in the pivot just from this metal dust flying everywhere. So I'm going to blow this out a little bit, re-oil it, and clean it up, wipe the blade down, everything, pack it back up, and it's going back to its owner. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I know stuff like this, reprofiling, and some of the technical aspects of knife sharpening it's an interesting subject. It's boring to some people, but to knife people, it really is fascinating, and it helps you, become more knowledgeable, and it helps you be more versatile in what you can do with your knives. Something like having serrations on a blade can be fixed. If you don't want them, cut them off. That's basically what you're doing. You're grinding it down, reprofiling, and resharpening, and you can do whatever you want. Once you learn these skills, it just makes it a lot easier to fine-tune your knives for what you like. So anyway, stay tuned. I'll do some more sharpening tutorials and stuff like that in the future. Something I'm usually doing anyway, so it's not a big deal to turn the camera on. But on this particular case, I'm glad you guys tuned in, and hopefully you learned something. If you got something to tell me and teach me, maybe correction and something I'm doing wrong, I'm always open to criticisms as well. All right, guys, just want to show you real quick what I did here to eliminate that grit. First thing I did was I just blew it out with some air, and then I wanted to properly lubricate this. So what I chose to use was some Militech 1. I love Tough Glide a lot. This is more viscous. It's a thicker, goopier kind of oil. So what I'll do is occasionally I'll use Militech 1 in an instance like this where it's really gritty on the inside. After you blow it out, take some clean Q-tips, wipe down the area, you know, inside the pivot, all around. In this particular case, there's lots of different parts. Wipe it all around. Put it in different positions too. Put it up here, then wipe behind it, then move it a little bit, wipe behind it, wipe in front of it, wipe around it, because some of that grit is going to come out on the side of that blade. You want to take that away as soon as possible. Once it's all cleaned up and stuff, to apply Militech 1, at least how I do it, because it's so thick and oily, I put it on a Q-tip. Alright, you see it's going to saturate and soak up a little bit. Then I'll come into the area that I want to apply it. In this case, I'm going to unlock this, rotate it a little bit, so I want it down here. And when I push it down in, I rotate it. And as I'm rotating it, what I'm doing is I'm squeezing the oil out, okay, in between the metal parts. So again, put it in here, rotate it, and that'll kind of apply it and squeeze it in between the crevices on either side of that steel. You can see that this is a little bit drier because it's been kind of wrung out. Imagine having a towel, a hand towel that's wet, and squeezing it and twisting it to wring out that water. So that's the best way to apply Militech 1. This knife is super smooth. There's no grit. There's no noise. So that's it, guys. Just gonna wipe the blade down now and package it up, clean it, get all the excess oil off of it, and ship it off. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.